First of all, hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar. We're excited to have you all here with us when we'll be diving into the world of products, tools, libraries, and services that Frappe has been building up over the past years. And that potentially has the thing in them to make your business operations better, or probably it is already making better for some of you. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of Frappeverse, let's get to know Faris a little bit. Faris is the product engineer at Frappe, and he's been a part of the team who's behind the many useful products that we have built over the years. From Gantt, data table, books, cloud, and game plan are some to name a few. And in the time that I have known him personally, he seemed to be a true product enthusiast who is always on the lookout to make things better and easier for people like you and me. And I feel like that's what Frappe is also about, making business operations better and life a bit easier. So during this webinar, you can expect to learn about various products and services offered by Frappe and how it is going to improve your day-to-day operations in your business. And before going forward, few pointers. Ensure that your name and surname is reflected on your Zoom account, so that it is easier for us to communicate and the interactions are smoother. And secondly, if you are using Zoom's desktop account, make sure that it is updated so that you could participate in polls and the Q&A session. That's it. Now let's get started. Over to you, Faris.
Cool, thanks, Anupama. I'm going to share my screen. Yeah. All right. So yeah, this webinar is about Frappeverse. Initially, I wasn't sure what I'm going to talk about in this, but Frappeverse, I mean, it has formed organically over the years, bit by bit. So this is just after the fact, connecting the dots of how we came here. So yeah, as Anupama talked about what I do. So I've been working at Frappe for the past 6 years, and yeah, I have a knack for building products. So yeah, so why are we having this webinar? So this is to set the stage for what is coming this year and what led us to this point. So just a brief history. So in 2005, WebNotes was the name of the company that is now known as Frappe. It was renamed to Frappe in 2008. And then in 2010, we launched ERPNext as SaaS. Then version 5 was a big milestone for us for ERPNext. Then in 2018, we did the Frappe Books experiment. In 2020, we started Frappe Cloud, and then 22, things just took off. So this is to say that from day one, the name of the company and the name of the flagship product was different. And it was a conscious decision because we always wanted to build multiple products. And it started, so even on day one, we had two products, Frappe, the framework, and ERPNext, the product. And as the team size grew, we also built, and also projects like Gantt charts and data table came out, and which are independent of all of these products. And then, as I mentioned, he also did a lot of experiments. So before this, just want to give a brief about how these projects came into picture. So Gantt was a project that was my first proper project when I joined Frappe. Uh, the problem was the existing Gantt library that we were using was not in line with our design system, and I had the opportunity of building one from scratch. And surprisingly, there were not many Gantt libraries that were open source. So that's where Gantt came into picture. Following that, Pratiksha, my colleague, uh, built a charts library inspired from GitHub charts. And then later, when we wanted to replace our last legacy component, which was called SlickGrid, I built data table. So all of these came from our problems that we solved for ourselves. Then we also did some experiments. Frappe Books was one. If you don't know about it, Frappe Books was a completely new take on what an accounting software could be. Completely offline, desktop first. And yeah, it was started by Rushabh in 2018. Then I took it, rewrote it, polished it, and launched it. And then now new features is being added by Alan. So he's a sole owner engineer on that who is working on Frappe Books. Then we also yeah, so before Frappe Cloud, there was this project called Backbone, which was supposed to uh, be a new deployment platform, and that didn't really work. I think we also talked about it in a conference, but it didn't really work. But then we gave a second shot at it, uh, and Aditya, I joined Aditya, and then we built Frappe Cloud, and now it is a 5-member team. So yeah, I mean, all of this is to say that if one thing these are just experiments, right? But some of these worked, which gave lit a fire in everyone else to start their own products. So, and at the same time, we also realized that since the team size was growing, it made sense that we also break the monolith, which we have been maintaining for large part of ERPNext life, to be broken down into separate projects. And each of these projects found their owners, and all of these happened organically. This also highlighted the fact that some projects won't have owners, and they will be orphans until they find an owner. So not everything works out well like we talk about, but yeah, this is the current state. But yeah, I mean, I think healthcare is one project where we Frappe Engineer is not working because it was originally built by Anoop's team, and they are uh, back on it, working on it. But Pushkar from Frappe is working as a product manager, non-engineer. But yeah, I mean, if you have heard Rushabh saying this is true, right? I mean, when we were a small team, managing 2 to 3 projects worked for us. But now as we grew, it made sense that every project has its own identity, so that things like releases and deployments are not dependent on uh, the monolith's deployment. And as Frappe, we are also experimenting in our culture. So we also formalized pick your own pay and pick your own work over the years, which also just works with the model that we are working for, where small team works on a project and they decide what they have to work on. Then along these lines, we also realized that ERPNext's UI can only take us so far. So now now that the projects are separated, we can give more focus for each product. So now we are also building each product with a custom UI. So this is Frappe Help Desk, one of the first products that started all of this. Yeah, I mean, this is how it looks right now. And this whole UI is custom UI, and the backend is obviously based on Frappe Framework. Then I also wanted to build my own product. So I was part of Frappe Cloud team for about 2 years. Then I left that team and then started Game Plan. Game Plan is if I missed, Help Desk is a customer support tool, and Game Plan is a team collaboration and communication tool that we are building for ourselves. And this is a screenshot from yesterday, where we are having all of these discussions, and on the sidebar you can see all of these teams. This is Frappe Insights. This is also a completely new product started by Saqib, one of our engineers. And this is one of the most popular products. If you are part of the conference, and if you look at the GitHub popularity. So this is one of the interesting projects that came out. This is Frappe LMS. This is a screenshot of Frappe School, which uses Frappe LMS. So Frappe LMS is a learning management system for courses, written courses, video courses with quiz and all of that. And there is no good open source learning management system. I would say there's no good learning management system, but that looks this good. So yeah, this is also working really well. One engineer is working on this, Jannat. This is Frappe HR, which was split from ERPNext. Rucha worked on this, and now it also has got its own identity, and it is one of the popular products based on number of installs on Frappe Cloud. This is an ERPNext UI screen, but we are also building a dedicated mobile app for Frappe HR. This is Frappe Drive. This looks really similar to Google Drive, but yeah, this is what it is: file management and document management system. And we, Frappe, plan to migrate our dependence on Google Drive to this. So this is also something that is in the works. And all of the custom UI that you saw is powered by Frappe UI, which is our UI library. And you can check it out on frappeui.com. So yeah, if you have seen the pattern, we are building these apps that for us, and all of these apps help you to run your business. So that is the general theme around this. And all of these apps you can try on Frappe Cloud Marketplace. And coming to Marketplace, that is the another piece of puzzle where, I mean, now you have apps that are published by us, Frappe first-party apps, and then we have also third-party apps. So we can't build everything, right? India Compliance is a very great example of a third-party app that is doing really well, and we couldn't do it as well as how Resilient Tech team did with India Compliance. And we also recently launched the incubator program where all the things that we have learned building products, we want to help you with those decisions, with any mentorship that you might need. So if you have an idea for building a product, apply. And yeah, I mean, now all of these blocks are fitting together. And just a second. Cool. Sorry. Yeah, so we are trying to create an environment where we can create high quality products with marketplace and incubator, and we already have a very active community on Discuss. And of course, all of our products, everything is 100% open source. And yeah, I mean, I'm talking about all of this so that you make a sense of where we are going with this. So this is what it is, right? I mean, I think one of the most important innovations that we did was the doc type. I mean, everyone loves doc type, right? It is the building block that helps us build all of these apps. Then we have Frappe Framework, which abstracts a lot of meta features that, I mean, you keep building with every app, but that is just abstracted away. I mean, I haven't seen any framework do that. And then we have also recently built Frappe UI to tackle the custom UI part. It is still a WIP, but as more products get built on it, it will also get smarter. Then we have Frappe Marketplace and Frappe Cloud Marketplace for distribution of apps. And I just, whoa, this is annoying. I don't know how to hide this. Okay, sorry. Anyway, yeah, so Cloud is the deployment platform for these apps, and Marketplace is the distribution platform for these products. And then combining all of this, we can build all of these apps, right? Helpdesk Drive, HR, CRM, ERPNext, of course. And we have community, the active community that follows Frappe and incubator program. All of this taken together forms the Frappeverse. So yeah, I mean, this is just this whatever I have talked about is how we have reached here and how the dots look looking back. So yeah, that was my talk, and yeah, I urge you to join the Frappeverse as a community member, as a product builder, as a partner. We have place for everybody. So yeah, that's it. And these polls are annoying. Anyway, I'll stop sharing. If I can figure out how to get my mouse.
Okay. So meanwhile, this was about what Frappe and Frappeverse is right now and what our plans is going forward. If you guys have any questions regarding any product or anything about Frappeverse or anything in general, you guys could pop in and ask the questions. We do have the Q&A section, plus you could just ask, you could raise hands and we'll go ahead and unmute you to talk. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a few questions. The screen you showed for help desk was built using Frappe Framework alone. Is help desk? Yeah, Rushabh has answered that question. Help desk is open source, and the backend is Frappe Framework, but the UI is on Vue.js using the Frappe UI library. Is there a possibility of publishing roadmap for each of these apps? That really depends on the product engineer who is working on it. They may or may not decide to publish the roadmap. But all of these projects are maintained on GitHub. So for any activity you're following, you can follow the GitHub repo.
There are more questions, Faris.
Yeah.
Should I read them out for you?
No, I can. So you need to know both Vue and Frappe framework to develop. I mean, it depends what kind of product you're building. If you building a custom UI is not a requirement. You can, if you have learned Frappe framework, you can just use that to build whatever app that you're building with doc types and the views that we already have. But if your product requires a custom UI flow that will make it easier, then you need to know Vue. But Vue is not a requirement. Again, I think there are people in the community that have built with different front-end stacks like React, Svelte, etc. When Frappe v15? Again, there is no date, but it is coming. So we release a major version when we have enough breaking changes that are in the pipeline.
Okay, so I think there's one interesting question. Basu is asking how Max can it scale. So yeah, Faris, if you want to take that.
How Max can it scale? Okay. So in my experience, bottleneck is mostly on the database. But yeah, if you write really bad code, it can block on the Python side. But it really depends on the cloud provider where you're hosting. But the Frappe framework itself never is the bottleneck for scaling. If there are some features that in Frappe framework that is blocking, those can be worked around. And we have massive deployments that deployments by Zerodha and teams like Zerodha and Elastic Run with massive deployments, and they are managing that scale. So if you are facing scaling issues, I think you need to have the knowledge of dealing with those. Are there any performance benchmarks available for Frappe framework? I don't think so. Does Frappe framework comes with an API or to integrate with us? Yeah, Frappe framework is API REST API first class feature. So all of the doc types are available as REST endpoints, and all the front end that you see is using that REST API. So it is very easy to integrate with other systems. Salim Mustafa says this is not a question, but just a shout out and kudos to the Frappe team for great products and for making it fast. Frappeverse is magically awesome. Thank you, Salim. Is multi-node architecture supported by Frappe framework? By multi-node, if you mean separate sites connected by a single manager site, I mean, it is not supported, but you can make it work. But yeah, it really depends on what you are solving for. Can we use Frappe framework for microservice? Yes, you can use that. You can use Frappe framework for just API endpoints. But in my opinion, Frappe framework's power comes from, I mean, obviously we have all the features that is needed in a web framework, but in addition to that, you get a really solid admin UI, which you don't get with any other framework. So that is where it shines. Basically, one site running across multiple nodes. I can't answer that question because I don't have enough information about that, but I think it should be possible. What are the 5 factors that add up to your credit score? Is this a related question? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Is Frappe UI? Yeah, Palkan.
Avoid that question. You can move on.
In Frappe UI, is it possible to disable sockets? Yes, I think initially it was hard coded to be enabled all the time, but now it is possible to disable it explicitly. But yeah, if you, I mean, these kind of requirements are questions you can directly post on Frappe UI's GitHub, and yeah, all of the features should be pluggable and should be, I mean, you should only use the features that you use. So if it is not possible, I'll make it possible if it makes sense for Frappe UI. Can we install Frappe UI, for instance, on version 13 or have to work on? Frappe UI does not have any hard dependency on version, but yeah, best to use version 13 and up. What's the maximum debt to income ratio you should have to maintain financial stability? I'm not sure if this is a serious question or just trolling. Are there also equivalent web application of respective desktop apps built of app? Okay, so one clarification: Frappe Books, which is the desktop app, is not built on Frappe Framework. I think that is the only product we have that is not built on Frappe Framework. It is built on Node.js, which runs on Electron, which was the requirement for a offline app. Can you please share the question screen? It will help us understand better. Questions, is it not visible to everyone?
No, only for the panelists. So better to read out the questions properly.
So I've read all the questions. So
Okay, so there was this participant who raised his hand. Hassan, are you there? You would want to ask question? Okay, I think he dropped. He's not here. Faris, so you've been working on a game plan quite recently. Would you want to give a brief about that to everyone and tell them how things are going in that front?
honestly, things have taken a pause right now. But yeah, so I'm really happy that the Frappe team is using, but now it has to. So I'm working on making it a single DB multi-tenant so that there is only one installation of game plan which can host any number of users. So that is what I'm currently working on. And you can see whatever is going on the GitHub repo, issues I'm working on. You can also see pending pull requests.
Got it. That's great. Also, for everyone, this was just the beginning of the discussions we have planned for every month. This was the introduction to Frappeverse, and from the coming months, we're going to pick our products and have webinars around it. So stay tuned and let us know, you could just write to us or anything and let us know which product you are excited about. And definitely we can take it up and try to answer all your questions and give you guys a demo and make you familiar with what's going on at Frappe. And yeah, that's it. Any more interesting things if you guys have in mind, just drop us an email in the support thing, or just anywhere that you have. If you're connected with us anywhere on LinkedIn or any social media platform, we would be ready to answer it. So yeah, that's there. And recently, we also launched a testimonial website. So if any of you are already, probably you guys are already using our platform and products. So it would be great if you could guys go there and drop in kind words and what your experience have been around using Frappe products and ERPNext. So I have added the testimonial page link over here. You guys could go there and read the testimonials or leave good words or whatever your experience have been till now. So yeah, Faris, anything more you have to add?
Just one thing. So if you already have an ERPNext installation, then the product that you should try out is Frappe Insights, because it directly connects to your database and you can immediately start building charts, and it is really fun to use and also useful. So we have been using Frappe Insights for ourselves. Maybe Michelle can Michelle is a hardcore user of Frappe Insights at Frappe. He has built a lot of charts.
Yeah, I think all of you should give Insights and all our other products a try. As Faris has mentioned, we use Insights to track all our operations and even to make business decisions. And we internally use all the products that we've built in the Frappeverse. So if you already have a Frappe Cloud instance on an ERP instance on Frappe Cloud, please try our other apps on the FC marketplace.
Great.
Okay, there is one more question. Why is it not possible to install Frappe Framework with a single script, not using Docker? I can install Odoo much more easily than Frappe. If there is a specific problem, then we can help. But Frappe Framework is built of many components, right? There is database, there is Redis, there is Node.js. So any and all of these, and whatever platform that you are installing, that combined with the technology, whatever tool that is failing to install, I mean, there are numerous problems that can happen. So if there is a specific thing that is not working for you, we can help with that. Other than that, I think one of our engineer is working on fixing this problem, where there is a one-line command that will set up Frappe Framework for you. So you can also follow that. That is being built on the bench project. So github.com/frappe/bench. Can Frappe Insights be installed in the same site of ERPNext? I think so, yes. Can you please arrange the session demo for manufacturing segment with stages? Okay. I think Palkan is replying to that.
Yes, I guess we are done with the questions that people had for us, and that was it from our side. And for the coming month, next month we will be picking up Frappe LMS, and Janet will be taking the webinar. So stay tuned for that. And if there is anything specific you guys want to know about it and interested in about it, so you could just drop an email, shoot your questions. We'll definitely try to incorporate that in our webinar. And yeah, thank you so much, Faris, to take out time and come here and talk about what's been happening around in Frappe and talk about Frappeverse. It was a great session personally, and thank you everyone for joining us and asking questions and making it interactive session. So yeah, that's there from our side, and thank you guys.